Hi everyone, it's Heidi at HB Paper Crafts. Welcome to my Tuesday live. Today is Tuesday, March 3rd, 2020. Just going to take a second and make sure that we're all connected on Facebook as always. Takes a couple seconds, there's a bit of a lag, so bear with me while we get that going. Okay, looks like we're going strong. I don't have a whole lot to share with you. Usually I like to take a few minutes and share any updates or things that I have. I just have a couple of things that I want to mention before we get to creating. First being that today is the first day of the second release of Sale-A-Bration. So all of the second release products are now available with your $50 purchase, or some is a $100 purchase. So the Flowering Foils Designer Series paper, this awesome Rise and Shine, which coordinates actually with the mug set that we had at Christmas time. This is a $100 set, so it's free with a $100 purchase. Super cute. I've seen lots of great things being done with that. This one I really like, the Well Dressed. I don't do a lot of manly cards, so I think it's great that we're offering another manly set as an option. We have the Specialty Designer Series paper, so Very Vellum. It's a vellum paper that's actually a little textured. I've seen it in person. It's very pretty. And then we have another Tags in Bloom. We have another $100 set. It coordinates with some of our punches that are in our catalogs there. And then the back just sort of sums up all of the current offerings. Of course, a couple of these things, the Metallic Baker's Twine and Sequins combo and the Kerchief card kit. These are both sold out. You can no longer get them. So just a little reminder that if there's anything in the Sale-A-Bration books that you would love to get your hands on, now's the time to do so before they run out, because it is while supplies last. So I wanted to mention that. If you want to see those items up close and personal, you can actually see them on my Facebook page. I posted today a link that goes directly to the catalog electronically if you don't have it. Okay, I also wanted to share this, the March class to go, the Witticisms class that I'm offering. Again, a class to go for March. There's 3 options to get this class. There are 2 cards and 3 3D items in the class. Option 1 includes the stamp set, all the makings for the projects. So you'll get the ribbon, all the embellishments, all the die cutting will be done for you. You'll just have to do the stamping. Option 1 includes the stamp set, and it's $45 with shipping unless you're local. I do offer porch pickup for locals. Option number 2 for the class is $25. It's all the class pieces. You'll get all the items, all the die cuts to make all the projects. You just won't get the stamp set, and that is $25. Again, you'd have to use your own stamps. Maybe you already have this stamp set, or you want to use another stamp set, then you certainly could do so. That option is $25. And then the third option is the video and PDF only. So option 1 and 2 include all the products to make the projects, the video and the PDF to complete the projects. And then option number 3 is just the video and the PDF, and that's available for $10. So sign-ups for this class are due March 12th by midnight. You have to sign up and pay by March 12th at midnight, and then I will get these cut, prepped, and out to you by the end of the month. So I wanted to mention that class. If you'd like to sign up, you'd have to email me or send me a message, and I can sign you up for this class. I can send a PayPal invoice if you'd like to pay that way. The option 1 and 2, if you're opting to have those mailed to you, it does come to you in a priority mailer, and the mail is, the shipping cost is $8. Okay, so there are the two things that I had for you. Hi Chris, hi Sandy, hi Georgia, hi Angela. Welcome guys. Tonight we're going to be playing with one of these Sale-A-Bration sets called Lovely Lily Pad. So this set is a Sale-A-Bration product right now in our current Sale-A-Bration, and the paper is available as well as part of Sale-A-Bration, and the dies. So I played with these today, and this is the project we're going to make. So we're going to start with the card. So I have all the pieces here. So this card is a just sort of a tri-fold card. Sort of a fun fold, different way to create. I'm going to start with a piece of, this is Gorgeous Grape, and I chose one of the designer series paper that I chose is out of that. Oh gosh, the name escapes me. This is the Lily Impressions designer series paper. They're all sort of like painted backgrounds, hand-painted backgrounds that they photograph and then create paper out of. So this is the one that I chose, and it goes with the Gorgeous Grape. So again, we're going to start with a piece that's 4 1/4 by 9. I'm going to take out my trimmer here, and we are going to score this at 5 1/2. Take my cutting blade right out of the way here, and we're going to just score it at 5 1/2, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut off 2 inches. So we're going to slide that down to 2, and I'm going to cut off 2 inches, but we're going to save this piece because this is going to be the mechanism for our card. Okay, so that's all we need to do there. I'm going to take my card and I'm going to fold it and grab my handy dandy bowl bloop bloop bone folder. As always, I'm struggling with those words. Okay, so there is that. This piece here we're actually going to take, and I'm going to fold it not quite in half. I'm going to give myself just a little bit of room, maybe like 1/2 inch. And that's going to be the mechanism. And the reason why I say that is because this is exactly the width of this. So I want it to not catch when I go to close my card. Otherwise it might catch like that, and I want to alleviate that. Okay, so now we're going to do some stamping. I'm going to take my piece of Whisper White. This piece is 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have a label out of my new favorite all-time label die set, which is the Stitch So Sweetly dies. They have the scalloped rectangles that are stitched, and then all these stitched label shapes, which I adore. So we're going to use these first. And the stamp set we're going to use, again, is that lovely Lily Pad stamp set. And I chose to use Melon Mambo. So in this paper, one of the background flowers is that Melon Mambo color. So I'm going to go ahead and use that to do my stamping. So these stamps are reversible. So they don't fit exactly together, but they are reversible just to fill in the color. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ink up the detail side of the stamp with Melon Mambo, and on the inside of my card I'm just going to stamp it down at the bottom there. And then I'm going to set that aside for a second, and on my label piece I'm going to go ahead and do that again. I'm going to ink it up full strength with the Melon Mambo, and I'm going to do it off to the side of my label here. In this set there's also a small I don't know if we'll call it lily, water lily. There's a small one anyway, and we're going to do the detail side on the other side, just like that. All right, so now I'm going to take my little chamois here, just clean these off and give them a good dry. This thing looks horrid, but works like a charm. Okay. And I'm going to flip those stamps over. So now we're going to do the fill side of these flowers. And I didn't want them the same strength of the Melon Mambo, so we're going to do some stamping off. So first I'm going to ink it up. And then I'm going to take it to my scrap paper and I'm just going to stamp off. And then we can go ahead and we can stamp on our flower. Now again, when you flip these over, they don't line up perfectly. It just sort of hints at the coloring things in there. So okay, then we're going to set this one aside and we'll go ahead and we'll do the other ones here. Thanks for sharing, Sandy. How is everybody tonight? And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the same with the small lily. There we go. Okay, so we're done with the melon mambo. We're going to go ahead with, I used some garden green, and there's also a leaf in this little lotus set, and we're going to do the exact same steps. So this is the fill, and I'm just going to stamp it off and then stamp it onto my paper. And I'll do one on the inside as well. Hi, Sue. Okay, we're going to clean off that leaf. And we're going to flip it over to do the detail side. Same steps, I just did it a little bit backwards because that's how it was on my block. And we're just going to fill in the leaf. And there we go. Okay, so this little lotus set doesn't have any phrases with it. So I went ahead and I just grabbed a happy birthday, and this is a one that actually just came out of that Witticisms set that I mentioned earlier. Just a little happy birthday, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp it in Gorgeous Scrape right over the top of the flowers, just like that. Alright, I'm going to take some dimensionals and some white baker's twine. I used my white baker's twine, and I'm just going to give myself a little bit here to tie a bow. And I'm going to hold it with my thumb and just wrap it around. So I'm using the label as sort of my guide where I'm going to tie this. And then I'm going to take some dimensionals. These are our little half-size wood block stamp cases. They are great to store little things in. I have them for my dimensionals, and I have them for my bling as well. Okay, so I'm going to put some dimensionals on there. I'm going to flip it over, and that's going to hold it in place while I tie it. And I always seem to struggle with the bow when I'm filming, of course. It's all good. That's not too bad. All right. So there we go. There's our little bow. Oop, I think one of them lost their backing. Okay, we're going to set that aside. Now to assemble. So I have a piece of that designer series paper from that Lily kit. I'm just going to go ahead and glue it down on the front of my card. Oop. I'm going to take that little mechanism that I made earlier. So again, it's just this piece right here that we cut off. And I cut it, I folded it so it's not quite in half. So you have just a little bit extra room. So when we go to glue it down, it's not going to hold anything up. And I like to use the liquid glue. So I'm going to put some liquid glue on the back of it. And I'm going to glue it right in the center, right to the back of my, or to the inside, not the back of my card. And the liquid glue gives you a little bit of leeway to move it around where you want, and it's going to go right up to the edge of your card here. So then we're going to go ahead and we're going to hit the top of it with some glue. And I took one of the stitched rectangles out of that Stitch So Sweetly set. This happens to be the largest stitched rectangle. And I'm just going to glue it right on the top. So I'm going to center it. And I'm going to put it so that it lines up with the edge of my card. Like that. Alright, so then we're going to open this, and we're going to take that inside piece that we stamped, and we're going to go ahead and glue it down. You can use snail on this if you want. I just happen to, mine just ran out, of course, right in the middle of it all. And that's going to get glued right to the inside here. Like that. Alright, so to finish it off, I'm going to go ahead and burnish this down really good so that our card stays closed. And I took a piece of the our melon mambo, and I ran it through with the subtle embossing folder, and it really is very subtle. I don't even know if you'd be able to pick it up, but it just sort of gives the paper a little bit of texture on the background of this, which I adore. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit that with some glue. This piece here is 3 3/4 by 2.5, and it actually fits perfectly right inside this rectangle, so that you can still see all the stitching all the way around. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the backs off my dimensionals. And this guy is going to go right on the front. Like that. So now we can give our ribbon a little haircut. And last but not least, I'm going to take my little bling and the take your pick tool, little putty end here, and I'm going to put a couple of these around. just like that. And there you have it. There is our little project with the Lotus set. See what I'm saying? Stay down. Folding it uneven really does help that issue because mine keeps catching. The first one I made keeps catching. So don't fold it in half. Your little mechanism that you cut off. All right, so there's project number 1. What do you think? Pretty simple, cute little card. Just adds a little something different when you want to give a special card to someone. Okay, so the second little project that I made, or I should say started, I never got to really finish. So you're going to have to stay tuned to what I do with it. I'll post the pictures on my Facebook website. But I wanted to do something else with this DSP because it is sort of growing on me. It wasn't my favorite at first, but it's really pretty. So I took actually my favorite piece, which is this piece here. And it has sort of the lily, more lily pad-ish looking colors. It's super cute. And of course on the back they have all these, the painted brush strokes. So I don't know if we can pick it up on the camera or not, but it's got some orange and this Bermuda Bay, which I decided to use for this little box. So we're going to make this little box here. All it is just a simple little gift box that you could use as a little giveaway, and I just tied a little ribbon around it. Again, I didn't get a chance to decorate it, but just gives you an idea what you can do with your designer series paper. So we're going to start with a piece of the designer series paper that measures 6 by 6. So on our little trimmer here, this little arm, I guess you could say, when you butt it up against the arm, you're getting a 6-inch piece of paper. So you're going to get 6 inches by 6 inches. And that's going to be the top of our box. And then I took a piece of the Bermuda Bay, and the cardstock bottom of the box, it measures 8 by 8. So we're going to cut this off at 8, and then by 8. Okay, I'm going to take out my scoreboard here. So for the bottom of the box, which is the 8 by 8 piece, we're going to score it all the way around at 2 inches. These are a really simple box that you could actually, you can make it smaller, you can mass produce, you could do just about anything with these. And then the top of the box, we're going to score it on all 4 sides at 1 inch. Now again, this is designer series paper, so you want to make sure you're not too heavy-handed when you're scoring, because it will tear your paper. Alright, so we're all set with that. I'm going to go ahead and flip it to the side that's a little bit easier to see. And I'm just going to snip from the edge to the center and cut out just a little wedge like I do when I'm making other boxes. So I'm going to do that on all 4 sides. Cut up to the center and just a little piece extra. And just cutting off that little bit just gives you a little wiggle room so that your top of your box is not sticking over the edge. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. Well, there's one hanging on, wants to stick around. Okay. There's that piece. I love my snips for the little pieces, but for the longer For the longer cuts, I go for my long scissors just because I think it's easier for me to get a straight line. And we're going to do the same process, all 4 sides, and take a little bite out of the tab. You want to leave these pieces whole, just the outside is what you're going to cut into. And then one more. Okay. I love these colors too. They're very pretty. Alright, so now that that's all cut, I'm going to take my bone folder and I am going to burnish all of my score lines. Bone folder is the key when you're making any type of box. Really helps you get straighter lines. And I'm going to do the same for the top here. One more. Alright, so to glue it together, I'm going to do the 4 small tabs that we snipped into. I'm going to fold those down and I'm going to use my liquid adhesive again. And now we're just going to pick those up and match them with the sides. You can give yourself just like an 1/8 of an inch, 1/16 of an inch. If you give yourself just a little bit extra here on the outside, your top will fit on your box just a little bit better. It won't be a super tight fit. And by giving yourself that little notch that we cut out, you can see that it doesn't show. Like I can tuck this down in further. If we didn't give ourselves that little notch, your edge might stick up over the top of your box like that, if that makes sense. Okay, so there is the top of our box, and we're going to repeat the same process with the bottom of the box. I don't have a in-person card class scheduled for March yet. Life has been a little nuts with my job, so I haven't got anything scheduled just yet, but if I do, I will post it. I'll post the details online. And I will be away on vacation for a while in March as well, so trying to fit everything in has been a challenge this month. Okay, so you repeat the same process for the bottom of the box, and there we go. So there's the bottom of our box. We can put our lid right on top. Fits perfectly like a glove. And then I took some of this is the crinkle seam binding. This is the white crinkle seam binding, which, as we all know, Heidi loves. And I'm just going to tie a little bow. So this is as far as I got to decorating it today. But stay tuned, because I will decorate it and post the results on my Facebook page. And you can see how it was finished off. But it's a super cute little box. The overall dimensions are about 4 by 4, so you could actually get a little bit in there. You could actually get quite a bit of stuff in the box. So it's 4 by 4 by 2. So it'll fit quite a bit of stuff. All right. So there we go. There is project number 2. And I think my ribbon, I probably went overboard. Give it a little haircut. All right, so there are our projects for today. I hope you enjoyed these projects and that you will recreate them and share so that I can see what you've done with them. I appreciate you guys coming out to watch, and if you're watching on the replay, I appreciate you as well. Thank you so much. I enjoy greatly sharing what I like to do for my downtime, my therapy session I call it, but I really enjoy bringing you these projects. So hope you guys recreate them. I appreciate you stopping in. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.